Now we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines are lines that go in the same direction meaning they have the same slope. So if two lines are parallel, the slope of one is equal to the slope of the other. Perpendicular lines are lines that meet at right angles, okay? Now, I won't explain why this is the relationship, but the relationship of the slopes is that the slope of one is equal to the opposite reciprocal of the slope of the other. What that means, for instance, is that if this line has slope -3/2, the opposite reciprocal of -3/2 is +2/3, okay? I have 3 examples here where we are going to try to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or maybe there's no relationship whatsoever as to parallel or perpendicular. So if we look at this, y equals 4x minus 5 and 2y minus 8x equals 7, well, the simplest way to do this is to just find the slope of each of these lines by isolating the y. So for the first one, we know right away that that is the slope, right? M is 4. Now this one, we have to work to get the slope. We need to isolate the y, so we can add 8x to both sides of the equation to get 2y equals 8x plus 7. Isolating the y, we need to divide across the board by 2. So we get y is equal to 4x plus 7/2. And we see that the coefficient of x is 4. That is the slope of the second line. Since they have the same slope, we say that the two lines are parallel. Okay? For my second example, I have y equals 4x minus 5. So we already know that that's the slope of the first. And this line is x plus 4y equals 1. Again, we need to go through the same exercise of isolating the y. So we need to move the x over to the other side by subtracting x from both sides of the equation. Okay? We need to divide across the board by 4. So we'll get y is equal to -1/4. That's another way of writing negative x over 4 is -1/4 x plus 1/4. We want the coefficient of x. That's -1/4. Now we see that this -1/4 is the opposite of the reciprocal of 4, okay? Or vice versa, 4 is the opposite of the reciprocal of -1/4. Since they're opposite reciprocals of each other, then this example is an example of perpendicular lines, okay? Finally, I have this here, same guy here, the slope is 4. I have this line 4x plus 2y equals 3. If I want to isolate my y, I need to move the 4x to the other side, make that a minus 4x, divide by 2 to isolate the y. So we'll have -2x plus 3/2. The slope of this guy is -2. This one is 4. 4 and -2, they're neither equal nor opposite reciprocals of each other. Therefore, these two lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. So that's how you can use slopes to decide whether two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither of the two cases.